Talk English Vault.
Learn English with podcast.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to Talk English Vault. I'm Bella, and oh my goodness, I am so excited about today's episode.
And I'm Noah, and honestly, same. Because today, we're answering the question that pretty much every single English learner has asked at some point.
The big question. How do I improve my English fast?
The question. And look, we're going to be real with you today. There's no magic trick, there's no secret shortcut that nobody told you about.
But, and this is the good news, there are genuinely powerful strategies that work faster than others. Things that make a real, noticeable difference in a short amount of time if you do them consistently.
And today, we're just going to chat about them, naturally, the way we always do. Because we've both been through our own language learning journeys, and we've seen what works and what doesn't.
So this isn't textbook advice. This is real, honest, from experience advice. The stuff we wish someone had told us earlier.
Grab a notebook, or don't, just listen, and let's get into it.
Let's go.
Before we get into the tips, I want to start with something that I think holds so many learners back, and it's not what most people expect.
Ooh, I think I know what you're gonna say.
Go on then.
Waiting. Just waiting. Waiting until their English is good enough to actually use it.
That is exactly it. That's the number one mistake, and I completely understand why it happens, because using English before you feel ready is scary. You might make mistakes, people might not understand you, you might forget a word at exactly the wrong moment.
But here's the thing. That discomfort, that awkwardness, that is the learning. That's where the growth actually lives.
Completely. And the cruel irony is, the only way to get to the point where English feels comfortable is to spend time being uncomfortable in it. There's no path around that stage. You have to go through it.
And the learners who improve the fastest are not the ones with the most talent or the best memory. They're the ones who are willing to look a little silly, make a few mistakes, and keep going anyway.
I love that. Okay, so with that mindset as our foundation, let's get into the actual tips. What's your number one?
Okay, my number one tip, and I feel really strongly about this, is to drown yourself in English input. Like, completely surround yourself with it.
Tell me more. What do you mean by input specifically?
So, input is anything you consume in English. Watching TV shows, films, YouTube videos, but in English. Listening to podcasts, like this one, hint, hint, in English. Reading articles, books, social media posts, in English. The more English you absorb, the faster your brain starts to recognize patterns, pick up vocabulary, and develop an ear for how the language actually sounds.
And there's a key word there, actually sounds, because textbook English and real spoken English are genuinely different things. The rhythm, the contractions, the way words blend together, you only pick that up through listening to real people speak.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to study. You just have to enjoy things in English. Watch a show you love, but watch it in English. Listen to a podcast about something you're genuinely interested in. It doesn't feel like studying, because it isn't really, but your brain is absorbing so much.
I completely agree with that, and it links to my first tip, which is the flip side of input, output.
Oh yes, the speaking and writing side.
Right, so a lot of learners spend maybe 90% of their English time on input, reading, listening, watching, and then they wonder why they can't speak fluently. And it's because speaking is a completely separate skill that you only develop by actually doing it.
It's like going to the gym and only watching fitness videos, but never actually lifting a weight.
Perfect analogy. Your brain might know exactly what a bicep curl looks like, but your muscle hasn't been trained. And with English, your brain might recognize loads of vocabulary and grammar, but if you've never practiced producing it, it just doesn't come out smoothly.
So what kind of output do you recommend?
Anything. Seriously. Talk to yourself in English. Narrate what you're doing. I'm making coffee. I'm going to add 2 sugars. I wonder what I'll have for lunch. It sounds silly, but it's incredibly effective.
Write in English, a journal, comments online, messages to yourself, and of course, find people to talk to, language exchange apps, conversation groups, online communities.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the whole point. Imperfect output is the path to fluent output. You can't skip the imperfect stage.
Okay, tip 3. And this one is about vocabulary, because I think a lot of learners go about building vocabulary in the least efficient way possible.
Oh, are you talking about the long vocabulary list problem?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Writing down 50 words in a notebook and trying to memorize them all, and then forgetting them all within a week because there's no context attached to any of them.
I did this for years. I had notebooks full of words I could never actually use in a sentence.
Same. And the reason it doesn't work is that our brains don't store information as isolated units. We remember things in context, in stories, in emotions. So the way to actually make vocabulary stick is to encounter it in context, to hear it used in a sentence, understand the situation it belongs to, and then use it yourself as soon as possible.
So instead of learning the word procrastinate from a list, you hear someone say, I've been procrastinating on this project all week and now I'm completely stressed. And suddenly you don't just know what the word means, you know the feeling it describes. You know the situation it belongs to. It's alive.
Exactly. And then you use it even just in your head. I'm procrastinating again. And it's yours forever.
And I'd add to that, don't try to learn everything. Focus on the vocabulary that's relevant to your life, your job, your hobbies, your daily routine, because those are the words you'll use and therefore the words you'll actually remember.
Really smart. Quality over quantity, always. Okay, tip 4, and this might be the most unsexy tip of the day, but I genuinely believe it's the most powerful one.
Ooh, I have a feeling I know what this is.
Consistency. Showing up every single day, even for just 15 or 20 minutes, is worth more than a 3-hour study session once a week.
And why do you think that is? Because a lot of learners don't intuitively believe that. They think, surely 3 hours beats 20 minutes.
It comes down to how the brain builds new pathways. Language learning is essentially about training your brain to work in a new way, to think and respond in a different language. And brains build habits through repetition over time, not through single intense bursts.
It's like watering a plant. 20 minutes every day keeps it alive and growing. 3 hours on one day and then nothing for a week, and the plant wilts.
That is such a good analogy. And the other thing about consistency is it keeps English warm in your mind. If you use it every day, it stays accessible. If you disappear from it for a week, you can feel yourself getting rusty.
Oh, I feel that so much. Even a few days away from a language, and it feels like something has slipped.
Exactly. Daily contact, that's the key. Even something small counts. A 5-minute podcast on your commute, 1 English article over your morning coffee, 10 new words in context. It all adds up.
Okay, my next tip is something I feel really passionately about, and it's about your relationship with mistakes.
Oh, this is so important.
So, most English learners treat mistakes as evidence that they're failing. Like, I said the wrong tense, I'm so embarrassed, I'll never be good at this. And that shame response is one of the most destructive things for language learning.
Because it stops you speaking. It makes you hesitate. It keeps you in your head instead of in the conversation.
Exactly. And here's what I want learners to hear. Mistakes are not the opposite of learning. They are the learning. Every time you say something wrong and notice it, or someone gently corrects you, your brain updates. It strengthens the right pathway. That's how acquisition works.
And I'd add, the learners who make the most mistakes are usually the ones who are improving the fastest, because they're the ones who are speaking, trying, risking. The learners who make the fewest mistakes are often the ones who barely speak at all because they're too afraid.
So reframe mistakes. Not, I failed, but my brain just got an update.
I love that. Brain update. I'm using that.
Please do. Okay, what's your next tip?
Mindset, and specifically how you talk to yourself about your English.
Oh, the inner critic.
The inner critic, because so many learners have this really harsh internal voice. Your accent is terrible, you sound stupid, why can't you just get it right? And that voice, even though it's trying to push you forward, actually does the opposite. It creates anxiety, and anxiety is the enemy of fluency.
Because when you're anxious, your working memory shrinks. The part of your brain that holds information while you process it, it gets smaller under stress. So you forget words more easily, you lose your train of thought, you stumble, and then you blame yourself, which creates more anxiety. It's a horrible cycle.
Right. So the mindset shift is treat yourself the way you'd treat a friend who was learning a new language, with patience, encouragement, and a sense of humor about the inevitable awkward moments.
Because you would encourage a friend. You wouldn't say to a friend, "Wow, your accent is awful and your grammar is embarrassing." You'd say, "You're doing so well. That was amazing. You just had a whole conversation in English."
Extend yourself that same kindness. It's not weakness, it's neuroscience. A relaxed brain learns faster.
A relaxed brain learns faster. That should be the tagline of this episode.
I think we've just written our thumbnail text.
Okay, we're coming to the end of our tips, and I saved 2 of my favorites for last. Tip 7, find your why.
Oh, this is huge.
So, I think the learners who improve fastest are not necessarily the ones with the most time, or the best teachers, or the most resources. They're the ones who have a really clear, really personal reason for wanting to improve.
Because motivation is the fuel, and not all motivation is equal. I should probably improve my English is weak fuel. I want to be able to have a real conversation with my partner's family, or I want to get this job that requires English, or I want to be able to travel independently. That's strong fuel.
And when your why is strong enough, the difficult days don't stop you, because you're not doing this because it's easy or comfortable. You're doing it because it matters to you.
So take a moment, genuinely, and ask yourself why you're learning English. Write it down somewhere you can see it, and come back to it on the days when it feels hard.
And tip 8, make it fun, please. For the love of everything, make it fun.
Say more.
So many learners approach English learning like medicine, something unpleasant they have to get through. But if every English learning session feels like a chore, you won't do it consistently. And consistency, as we said, is everything.
So find the English content you actually enjoy. Love cooking? Watch English cooking channels. Love sport? Follow English sports commentary. Love drama? Get obsessed with a great English TV series. Love music? Listen to English songs and actually look up the lyrics.
The topic doesn't matter. The enjoyment does. Because enjoyment keeps you coming back. And every time you come back, you're improving.
And I think there's something almost magical that happens when you stop thinking of English as something you're learning and start thinking of it as just part of your life, something you live in, not something you study.
That shift from English as a subject to English as a lifestyle is when everything accelerates. I've seen it happen. It's real.
Okay, your Talk English Vault challenge for this week. And we want this to be the start of something, not just a one-off exercise.
We want you to commit to one thing, just one. Pick the tip from today that resonated with you the most and commit to doing it every single day for the next 2 weeks.
Maybe it's 20 minutes of English input before bed. Maybe it's talking to yourself in English during your commute. Maybe it's keeping a short English journal. Whatever it is, one thing every day, 2 weeks.
And then come to the YouTube comments and tell us, which tip did you choose? And why did that one speak to you?
We genuinely love reading your comments, every single one. This community is one of the most encouraging spaces on the internet, and we are so proud of every person in it.
If today's episode was helpful or if it gave you that little boost of motivation you needed, please give it a thumbs up. It means so much to us and it helps more learners find Talk English Vault.
Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. New conversations every single week.
And share this with someone who's been feeling stuck with their English. Sometimes all it takes is the right reminder at the right moment. And this might be their moment.
Until next time, show up, stay curious,
Be patient with yourself. Make it fun.
and keep improving every single day. You're doing better than you think. See you next episode.
Bye, everyone. You've got this.
Bye. Take care.